This morning on Say Yes to You, she's a powerhouse woman. Priscilla Shirer, you may know her as mother, wife, champion of women, and woman of faith. You may have heard of her father, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship pastor Tony Evans. When we sat down at her home, Priscilla opened up to me about her own self-love challenges and finding self-love in her faith.
And he has already been in eternity future.
It's hard to imagine that you have had self-love challenges.
Look who's talking.
But sovereignty does not just mean that he has seen it all.
Even now, I struggle with having to remind myself, okay, even with the weaknesses that I know that I have and the tendencies that I wish would be a little bit different in my life, God made me this way. As a career, I know that you're going to equip me for that.
I always thought of self-love as, oh, that sounds selfish.
Yeah.
So how is self-love compatible or actually an enhancement of being a woman of faith?
Well, we are all made in God's image. We are image bearers of a holy God, a creative God, and a powerful God. And so when we love the package he made us in, we recognize that we're a reflection of his creative genius. So my skin color and my hair texture and the uniquenesses that you have in personality and in physicality, when we embrace that, we're saying to God, Lord, thank you for the way you made me, deficiencies, weaknesses, and all. And I want to surrender all of this to you to be used by your glory and for your purpose.
When we don't love ourselves, a lot of times we look to other things for validation, success, relationships, whatever, and those kind of become our gods, our idols.
Absolutely. And we will find always that those things are lacking.
You were talking about your own challenges with self-love. Can you just give me an example?
Absolutely. I remember when I was in college, I just thought I met the love of my life and my life would be over without him. And I went through a season that a lot of young ladies have gone through where you just sort of invest everything into that relationship. And then this guy decided he didn't want to be in a relationship with me after 2 or 3 years. It was devastating. And I immediately took that as a rejection of who I am, as opposed to just saying in the moment, I see it clearly now, but in the moment, instead of just saying we are not right for each other, I took it on as a personal reflection of my inability to be loved, of something that is wrong with me. So my ability to love myself took a huge hit by this one individual rejecting me in that relationship.
I would have never thought that of you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, it was one of those markers.
Because I think that's something a lot of women resonate with. I think that the approval of a man sometimes is something that, oh, I'm not good enough. That's the reason that he didn't choose me, or he didn't want to continue the relationship with me. So what did you do at that time to work on yourself, which is the answer?
Well, I would say that it's less about working on myself and more about me coming to a better, more clear understanding of who I am in God. That's what the fix was for me. That he loves me, that he approves of me, that I don't have to do anything to earn the affection and the approval of God.
I think I've got a pretty good idea of how you were probably raised.
Okay.
I think I've heard your dad preach. I think I got a pretty good idea of how you were raised.
Okay.
What would you say, what advice would you give in raising healthy girls with self-worth in today's culture?
I would think that the main thing, when I look back, that my parents gave to myself and my sister, speaking specifically about girls, but also to my brothers, was the investment of their time, presence. So less about what tangible things they were giving us. And when I look back, really, they placed value on us by being there. But as a father with a daughter, that male figure giving that to a daughter is something that will shape the way they look at relationships moving forward.
What is your indulgence? What do you really just like to do that people might not suspect?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that Mexican food is my love language. So if I can get some good salty chips and some queso and guacamole, my whole day has been brightened.
I just love her. It was so much fun to talk with her. She is so super, super wonderful. And she has a whole ministry about helping women. So, women who are looking for support, here's where you can find Priscilla. You've got to get in touch with Priscilla. I promise you, you will love her as much as I do. You can get her at, her outreach is goingbeyond.com. And also follow her on Instagram. It's at Priscilla Shirer.